Welcome back to our message from our divine, compassionate guides. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Julianne Duffy, and my purpose here is to live, speak, and seek the truth in all forms to help reconnect humanity to its highest form of authenticity. And I truly do appreciate you watching. My intention when I pull these messages is that they will help heal and assist those that have come across the message. Today, I asked the guides, what is our growing season for North America going to be like? We're almost mid-May, and like where we are in North America, I'm in Canada, there is so many forest fires going on already, which is extremely rare. However, all of life right now seems to be very rare with all the things that are happening. So I wanted to look in and find out how are we going to do with growing food this year. You know, that's really right around the corner. People are starting to plant now here, and traditionally we plant after the May long weekend in Canada, which will be next weekend. And I want to find out if we're going to have a good growing season, and kind of what the guides have to say and what they have to advise us. So of course I'm doing a 4-card spread. We're going to look at what we are seeing, what we're not seeing, the possible outcome, and then of course what action we're being called to take. So let's jump into it. What are we seeing? So what is the first part of message? What are we seeing? Here and now. So right now we're seeing the present. This is right in this moment, right in the present moment, right in the world of the here and now, right? The essential meaning of this card is being fully present in the moment and living one day at a time. Oh, and I did forget to mention, we are doing the Wisdom of Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed this morning. So this is really being present in the full moment, being here and now. So right now in this moment, like for myself, it seems a little bit chaotic. It seems a little bit crazy. But let's look at the Oracle message. Everything happens in the now, in the present. Only this moment counts. You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has the potential for you to create miracles in your life. So I feel like right off the bat, the guides are reaffirming to us, just live the moment. Right now, what we can see now is we are seeing that there is a lot of chaos. However, be present right now. Observe. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about the past right now. Be in this moment. That is what we're really seeing. Let's deal with each situation as it comes right now. So that's our first part of the message. I feel like that's really the summary. Let's be present. Let's observe. Let's see what's going to happen if we are observing the moment and this realm right now, right? So now what we're not seeing. What are we not seeing in regards to this? Unfinished symphony. So this one really is kind of like that, the things that aren't quite done, right? So unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. So what we're not seeing is that there is stuff that is maybe lingering. This is like a very coming like this energy of lingering things from the past that haven't been dealt with when it comes to how we're growing our food. So that's quite interesting. The message with this is that it's time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practical, radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closures can be found, and the answer you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so the symphony can finally end on a high note. So I feel like, okay, what we're not seeing is that there's stuff we need to deal with. There's stuff that we have to finish. There's, I guess when we're coming to growing, is it that we haven't even planted in some places? We haven't even started that process. So it's like being vigilant of what is actually happening in this moment, being able to reflect and make your movement based on what you're going to see right in this, like right now, not maybe what the past is or not maybe what the future is, assessing what we are at and where we are right now. However, things that are behind this are some of these unfinished symphonies. So, especially with the wildfires, Canada became really weird where they weren't doing the really good clearing out old brush, because with these forests, we have such big forests, and there's a lot of old dead things that traditionally, forest fires would burn them down and bring new life. And I feel like, especially where we're seeing this, that's stuff that hasn't happened. So maybe this is part of that unfinished symphony, is the closure of getting rid of a lot of these old things that need to come to allow new to come in, right? Because it's like, it might seem detrimental with the forest fires or whatever might be happening in where we are living. However, these are things that maybe have started and never got completed because the natural process, we as humans have kind of messed them up. There is a point of where, we want to protect property and stuff like that. However, there's also part of nature. Forest fires are part of nature, removing the dead, the old to bring in the new life, right? So I feel like that's kind of what we're not really seeing here or understanding, is that some of these things we're dealing with are things that were started before that haven't completed yet. Now we go into what is the possible outcome. So what is our possible outcome when it comes to growing and producing this year? Flexible. Oh, we're going to have to be flexible. We might be having to think outside the box. We might be doing things that we maybe never thought we'd be doing. It's going to be, it's going to be us adapting, is how I feel like that card comes up. The essential meaning is teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable, just said that, without compromising what's most important. And so the message here is the tree's root is solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now. Willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware at this time. Others will be more flexible with you too. So that's what the possible outcome. We're going to have to be flexible. We're going to have to be flexible in how we're growing things, how we're working with the land. We might be having to just be really open-minded and trying new processes and new things that are going to come into our realm, because there's a lot of unfinished business. So I don't know what's going to really, all that's going to look like. We're going to have to be flexible when we're dealing with all those things that come forward. And then what actions we're being called to take. So what are we being called to take for this growing season? As, what can we personally do? Time to go and start doing stuff. I feel like that's really what we're being told to do. Time to go. So this one, really clearly, we're going somewhere. It's the endings, completion, walking away from something because there's nothing else to learn or experience. And the message on this one is you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is a moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to a new experience and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. So I guess this is like also the time, it's time to just like move on, determine, really, we're being guided to watch, see what's going on in the present moment, see what we need to finish, be flexible with it, and then take what we've learned and move forward. Whatever that means for us is time to go forward, time to move on and take these skills and all these things we've learned and then utilize them in a better way. So it's a very interesting message. It's really about, where we're going to go this year, and it's going to have a lot of flexibility. We're going to have to be super adaptable. There's going to be things that we're going to see come up that maybe have been started before. We might not even understand that they've been started before, and might be a karmic generational thing that it's time is coming to an end. And it's time for us to learn from everything we've experienced to go forward and be fruitful. So that is our message for today. As always, my intention is this will assist you in the most divine way. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste.